Why does everyone love pentatonics?
One more time.
No, not the band. I'm talking about the group of 5 notes that seem to be so popular and so well utilised in all forms of Western music. And although there are many cultures across the world that have slightly different groups of notes that they would call pentatonics, I'm talking of the ones that we use in Western music. It's time for another Tuesday tip, and we're going to talk about pentatonic scales. When I was learning Spanish guitar, we never learnt pentatonic scales. I didn't even see one for the first time until I was a teenager, and it seemed really strange to me that someone would learn a scale with some of the notes missing. If you've ever asked yourself the same question, instead of looking at the notes that are inside the scale, look at the notes that have been removed from its original scale, like the major scale or the minor scale. This is an A minor scale, and this is the pentatonic. If you look really carefully, a couple of the notes have been taken out, and now we're left with the pentatonic. But I think it's important to look at which ones have been removed, and maybe at that point you can ask yourself why. The 2nd and the 6th have been removed. The reason is because they make a semitone interval with one of the notes either side of them. Now, if you look carefully at the 2nd being removed, it's a semitone to the minor 3rd, and we obviously can't remove the 3rd because it's part of the triad. Likewise, the 6th has been removed and it's semitonal to the perfect 5th, and we obviously can't remove the 5th because it's part of the triad too. By removing these notes, we now reduce the opportunity that we could hear a minor 2nd or this sort of dissonance. Now when we're making melodies, we increase the opportunity for consonants or more pleasant sounds. In another way, it can stop people from being afraid of accidentally playing what they might regard as a wrong note or something that might not sound very pleasant. If you look at the relative major now, C major, and its pentatonic, at first glance it might look like 2 different notes have been removed, in this case, the 4th and the 7th. But if you look carefully, they're the same 2 notes, and the same 2 that would give the same semitonal interval. The perfect 4th is a semitone away from the major 3rd, and we obviously can't remove that one because it's part of the triad. The major 7th is a semitone from the octave, and we obviously can't remove the octave, that's the tonic. At this point, I think that maybe if we understand the psychology of why people want to use it, we can abandon this way of thinking, because really, it's only going to limit you. If we know that people are only fond of it really because they're afraid of playing this sound, then what's wrong with just using all the notes that you can and just being aware of what else is being played, maybe in the chords behind your melody or solo, and just taking greater care with it. The other thing is that you might deliberately want to experiment with what some of those dissonant sounds sound like. They can be really beautiful. I hope that helps, and if there's anything else that you'd like to know about guitar or music in general, just let me know.